Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Now today I'm here with a slightly different video, and if you follow me on Instagram you will know why I'm filming this video, and that is because we had an escaped hamster this week. I don't know why you would want to escape from this fabulous cage, but apparently sometimes you just need to get out. So I'm going to give you my top tips, or what I wish I'd known about finding a lost hamster. First things first, as soon as you find out that the hamster is out of the cage, shut the door of the room that the hamster was in. Probably the best thing to do is whatever room your hamster lives in, if it's in with a child or whatever, is always keep that door shut during the day, during the night. Then that way you know there's very little chance that the hamster can leave the room. Now we didn't think the hamster had left the room, but we weren't 100% convinced. So yeah, we basically shut the door. You also need to remove any other pets from the room, especially if you have a cat like we do. We have two, and obviously we did not want the cats getting anywhere near an escaped hamster because that was never going to end well. We didn't know where the hamster was. She's escaped a few times. She's always been somewhere really obvious, really kind of like snuggled up in a little blanket or running around trying to find some food. We've never been able to not find her before, so we've never had to do any of these things other than the kind of shutting the door and getting pets out of the room. So the first thing we did for actively trying to find her again was to take her cage, part of her cage, because it's quite a big cage, take it and put it down on the floor so that if she came out from wherever she was, she would be able to get back into her cage. Obviously you're still leaving the door open so she could get out again. But we took it down onto the floor because obviously you can see it's up high at the moment. So we put it onto the floor and hoped that she would come back. This didn't work in that she didn't come back. Then I Googled, and Google told me to set a bucket trap. In fact, someone on Twitter actually recommended that I set a bucket trap. I'd not heard of a bucket trap before. I will show you one. But in essence, it is a ramp up to a bucket which has kind of a napkin or something quite thin on the top of that bucket, along with some food. There's some food within the bucket, so you put something like an apple or something that smells quite strong in the bucket. A tissue over the top of the bucket with a little bit more food on. The idea is that obviously they walk up the little ramp and stand on the tissue and then fly into the bucket and get stuck. That's the plan. That didn't work either. Wherever she was, which I'll tell you in a moment, she clearly was quite happy where she was. She didn't want to come out. She didn't need to go into a bucket and get any food. I set the bucket traps all around the house because we weren't 100% sure. We thought she'd been in the room, but we weren't 100% sure. So I set bucket traps all over the place just in case she turned up in that random place. In fact, there's still one in the cellar that I should probably go and dismantle. Then we had a few times, we were literally looking for this hamster all day. She went missing overnight, and by the morning she was obviously gone. We started looking for her. My husband and I spent all of the day looking for the hamster. So in the evening we kind of had heard a bit of scrabbling throughout the day, but we couldn't quite pinpoint where that noise was coming from. So by the evening we were in the room and my daughter was with us, and she also heard the scrabbling. So we got my uncle to come round because the scrabbling was coming from some boxing pipes behind the sink, but there was a tiny little gap that she could have got through, so we knew that it was possible that the hamster had got into these pipes. One of the worrying things when we were looking for her was that there were little scratched kind of blood marks around the tops of the skirting board, so we also thought she was injured. So we were quite concerned about finding her, obviously, because we wanted to make sure that she was okay. So the next thing we did, we got my uncle to come round because I didn't want to be the one wrecking the house that's not ours. So he came round and unscrewed a load of the boxed in bit. We still couldn't see up. We tried taking pictures with our phones. That's a good tip. Make sure you take a picture with your flash on of somewhere in the dark. We couldn't see her. So if she was up there, she was up there very high, high enough to not be taken in by the photo. When we did this, we did hear a bit more scrabbling. So we thought, right, she must be up there. So the next thing that we did was to put an apple, kind of a bitten into apple. I literally bit the top off it, underneath the pipes in the hope that she would come back. I then had to go out for a meeting. This was all like late at night by this point. Had to go out for a meeting which started at 8 o'clock, came home at about 9:30, and half the apple had been eaten. And I was like, right, she is in here. She needs to come out, because wherever she is, I'm sure she's having fun, but we need to know where she is. My poor daughter was beside herself. She was really upset about the hamster not being around. So we knew we needed to get her back and in her cage. So I sat here with my phone, filming an update for Instagram to let everyone know that we thought we knew where the hamster was and that she'd eaten some of this apple. And whilst I was filming, she literally dropped down from the pipes with this incredible noise. So she dropped down and came out, and I got hold of her and we put her back in her cage, where she has thankfully stayed ever since. But I just thought, if you are missing a hamster, if you are going through this, you might want those specific tips on how to find the hamster, because I definitely would have liked one of these videos when ours was missing. And as I say, thankfully she is back. She's a little camera shy, but she is okay. Hooray! Definitely pop the cage down, pop some food in it, something they can smell and something they can kind of want to eat, so they will go and see it. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it's been helpful to you. Obviously it thankfully worked for us in the end. I will see you again soon. Alright, bye!